Hi everybody, welcome to Look Today. I'm here with Public Safety Commissioner Chris Mathiesen. Commissioner, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
There's a recent issue that has sprung up over at the racetrack, an issue that hasn't necessarily been something of concern until this year. Apparently there's some noise going on over there in that Oklahoma track that's causing some issues with the horses and some of the riders. I guess some of the riders have been thrown from their horses. So tell us what steps your department is taking now to address that. I know you've talked to some people over at the track and you've taken some steps. So what are those?
We have part of our noise ordinance is that construction noise can't take place in the city from 10 p.m. at night till 7 a.m. in the morning. From 7 a.m. on, yes, their construction can take place. There's been a lot of construction along the south side of Fifth Avenue over the past number of years. A lot has changed over there. That type of noise is a type of activity that can cause problems with the horses that are training on the Oklahoma track. The Oklahoma training track is open from April through November. And so it's very different from what it was years ago when it was just open 5 or 6 weeks. It's a very different situation now. And so Saratoga Springs derives a lot of benefits from the horse racing industry, and we need to make sure we respect that. So out of respect for the horse racing industry and certainly the safety and well-being of the horses and the people who are training the horses, we are looking at a change in the ordinance so that just on the south side of Fifth Avenue, the construction will not be allowed to take place until 11 a.m. instead of 7 a.m. The horses are training until about 10:30, so the horses will be safely off the track by the time the construction can resume each day.
Now, why now? I know we were talking a little bit off camera, but the training track has been used for a number of years. There are houses on Fifth Avenue for years and years. Yes. What's going on now that's causing this to be an issue?
I grew up on Fifth Avenue. I know the neighborhood very well. Things have changed there a lot. There is a lot of construction activity there. People are acquiring homes. They're being extensively renovated. Some of them are being torn down and rebuilt. There's an awful lot of construction activity there. And so the impacts on the Oklahoma track are much different now than they were back years ago when really there wasn't much construction being done. And so that's primarily the reason for this.
And is this ordinance in place now?
We're having a public hearing tonight, and we'll be voting on this at our next city council meeting later in August.
And now, have any of the construction workers, are they abiding by the rules at this point, or is it?
Well, right now, we have a situation where I know that the facilities manager at the Saratoga Racecourse tries to ascertain whether or not there is construction taking place on Fifth Avenue, and they have been trying to get over there to speak to construction people about these problems and trying to get them to reduce the noise levels until after the training is complete. But we do believe that this change in the ordinance not only will give the city the more teeth in terms of being able to enforce this type of an ordinance, but also increase awareness on the part of our citizens, how important it is to be quiet around the horses. And this is important. I think the ordinance is important. But we also had some people come to the city council meeting and who spoke in general about being careful around horses and remembering that you certainly don't use fireworks around horses. You try not to cause abrupt types of sounds or noises that can disturb them.
Because you've mentioned there are things like they're using chainsaws, nail guns. These are
nail guns especially.
Yeah, a lot of high pressure sounds that can certainly startle a horse.
Yes.
And they've had some of the horses that
absolutely
been stirred, and some of the riders have actually been unseated, haven't they?
Yes, they have. There have been some injuries, and we don't want that to take place unnecessarily.
Now, very quickly, another tried and true establishment at the Saratoga Racecourse is the Mayor's Box. There's some controversy about the Mayor's Box now that NYRA apparently is not providing the box. I know Mayor Yepsen had dipped into some campaign funds to pay for it in recent years. I believe Commissioner Mathiesen has taken has brought up a concern with that. Where do you stand on that? Do you use the Mayor's Box at all?
I haven't personally used the Mayor's Box. I love the racetrack. I go to the racetrack a lot. I really enjoy racing, but I haven't ever used it really is the city's box. But The practices of the New York Racing Association have changed a lot. They do not have the flexibility that they had in the past in terms of offering boxes to the city, and so they over the past number of years they have asked to be paid for that box. It's better that the city not give up that box. I think it's a great asset to have. Once it's gone, it's gone. Right now we're looking at ways possibly for the city to pay for the box and then get reimbursed for the people who use it. I think that would be the best solution. I don't think it's a good idea for the mayor to use her campaign funds for that purpose. And I think it would have been better for the mayor to speak to other members of the city council about this before she went ahead and did that.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and talking in particular about the issue over the Oklahoma track. I know when the season begins, especially in your role as Public Safety Commissioner, it's a heightened season, the Saratoga season, the summer season. Issues like this pop up that you don't necessarily expect, and good job getting that taken care of. Hopefully this will get resolved so that we can keep those horses and those riders safe. So appreciate you coming on to talk about it.
Thank you.
If you want to see this interview again, head over to our website at looktvonline.com.